So calling the BPM process from BW and using the important feature of BPM form testing, which is the what's that, BPM live dev environment perspective. Okay, let's see how to call the web services. So from BPM, so I'm going to create one web service from here. Okay, so I'm going to create web service from here. So, and this will be called by BPM application. So I will take one XML schema. Okay. So, is done. BPM project. So when you do that, it will automatically generate one business object model project. Okay, so when you import it, it will automatically create one business object model project. So you will import the schemas or visuals from service descriptor. So go there, import service import visual. Okay, service import visual. Now select import from file and then select next. And so import your visual file. So it is importing the visual file, and which will create the business object model. So there you can see one new folder has been created, so which is generated business objects. And the namespace will be converted into package. So whatever namespace you have specified, so that namespace will be converted into package name. Okay, will be converted into package name. So there you can see. So this was the namespace that we have specified, and so it has created one package. So within that package you will be having your business objects. Okay, so now, so using the service descriptor, okay, using the service descriptor, so we will be calling our web service. Okay, we'll be calling our web service. And one more you see here, participants. Okay, so this is a participant that we have created. Okay, this is the participant that we have created. And these two are called system participants. You can see the icon. So they are called system participants. Okay, it is called system participant. Okay, so these two are system participants. So these two participants are automatically generated for your business process. So whenever you want to call any service, okay, whenever you want to call any service, so you will be having system participants. Okay, you will be having system participants. So we will be calling one web service now. Okay, we will be calling one web service. So when you configure a web service, one system participant will be automatically configured. And whatever resources the system participant refers, okay, whatever resources the system participant refers, so that must be available in the BPM server. Okay, that must be available in the BPM server. So you can see here the first process. So this is an API activity endpoint, and that is acting as a provider. So why this was created? Because your process is acting as a web service. So we have generated a web service for our business process. Okay. Okay, so that will generate. We have created one web service for our business process. Okay, so that's why this system participant has been configured. And you can see the service type, it's a web service one, and it is acting as a provider. Okay, it's acting as a provider, and when you see this SOAP over HTTP, so you can see it is referring one connector instance. So which is HTTP connector. So this connector is already there in the BPM runtime. So that's why you didn't create. But now when we configure web service, it will create one system participant. And that one system participant it will create, and that will be after a web service, and that will be acting as a consumer, and one HTTP connector instance also will be specified here. So you'll have to make sure that that is there in the BPM runtime before calling your web service. So let's see that. So this is my process. Okay, so we'll take a simple condition. If the review is success, okay, if the claim review is approved, if the claim review is completed successfully, so then we will call the web service. If the review is failed, so you will send an email to the user. Okay, he will send a rejected email to the user. Okay, so this is our condition. So this is our gateway. Okay, so the gateway condition is what? If the claim is approved. If the claim is approved, so okay, the review process is approved, then you will be calling web service. Okay, then you'll be calling web service. So if it is declined, so you will be logging to your file. You'll be sending an email to the user. So that's why, so select this gateway and then select the condition. So here, so as I told you, in BPM you will be using only JavaScript. So there are no XPath functions here. So go to conditional and script defenders JavaScript. Okay, script defenders JavaScript. And then so specify the condition. So my condition is this one. Now, so you have to we need to get that status information from the response object. Okay, from the claim result we need to get the status. So that's why just press Control space, it will show you the browser. Okay, object browser, it will show you. Okay, so select claim result. Now these are all functions that are available for the transformations. So these are all JavaScript related ones. There you can see JS everywhere. Okay, so ours is So claim result dot, so request status equals to accept. Okay, if it is accepted, then we need to call web service. Okay, we need to call web service. So that's why, so specify one task. Okay, create one task. And then so change the activity type to service. So when you want to have external system interaction, your activity types should be service type. Okay, service types. And then so go to service type. So these are the service types we have: decision service, document operations, and all. So but we will be using web service call. So select web service. Okay, so select the service type as web service. So I'm going to name it as log claim. Okay, so you have to specify which web service you want to call. So go to operation, click on select, and select the operation. See, for when you import concrete Visdel, so it will show you two operations. Okay, for each imported concrete Visdel, it will show you two operations. So one operation will be part of abstract Visdel. Okay, one operation will be part of abstract Visdel. Abstract part. And another operation will be part of the concrete binding. Okay, another operation will be part of concrete binding. So if you want to call your service through virtualization binding, you can select the operation from abstract part. But if you want to call web services in transport binding, you have to use the concrete part. So for internal web services, okay, so which means your business processes which are exposed as web services, you can use abstract Visdel. But for external systems, for external services which are running outside of your BPM runtime, you have to use concrete binding. So select service operation from the concrete binding. Okay, select it. So when I select it, then it will create one system participant. There you can see. Okay, one system participant it has created. And you see, so this system participant of type consumer it is, because right now BPM is acting as a web service client. So that's why it is acting as a consumer. And it is expecting one HTTP client resource instance. Okay, it is expecting one HTTP client resource instance. So this must be available in your AMX runtime. Okay, it should be available in your AMX runtime. Okay, so I'm going to modify this name because for easier understanding, so whatever port we have configured, I'm going to specify the same. So HTTP connection 10 to 100. Okay, so this we'll have to create. Okay, so now we have updated our resource instance. of the system participant. Now we have to do the parameter mapping. So select your service task. So you can see what error it is showing. So input to service, map parameters must be mapped. So select input to service. Now you can see here it is showing all the objects it is showing. So claim request object it is showing, and the claim result object also it is showing. Okay, so it is showing both of them. So we are having only 2 objects, so it is fine. But when you are dealing with big projects, okay, when you are dealing with projects, so lot many objects will be there. So it will become very complicated, to check the exact type and do the mapping. So that's why in the scope I will keep only one parameter. So go to interface, and in the interface I will either in the interface or I will simply drag and drop the parameter onto this. Okay, so whatever you want you can do. So go to interface, so click on press, I will just keep only claim result and add it. And you can see the input, now go to input to service, there you have only the claim result. And then map the values. Expand that and do the map. Okay, now so there is no output map, there are no output mappings because so our web service is only one-way web service. Okay, our web service is only one way, so that's why so there is nothing to do output mapping. Okay, so now, but even if the service call is failed, okay, so but even if the service call is failed, so I just want to inform so one of the user. Okay, I want to inform the administrator. Okay, I want to inform the administrator if the service call is failed. So how can you handle the web service system specific errors? Okay, how can you handle the web service system specific errors? So for that, so you will be using catch error event. Okay, you will be using catch error event. So go to catch intermediate events. So there you have error. Okay, catch error intermediate event. So when you want to catch the web service errors or any errors, you will be using the catch error event. So select that and then specify here. Okay, specify that on the boundary of this log claim activity. Okay, so if you want to have any specific errors to catch, you can go to select error. So right now there are no errors for this. Okay, there are no errors defined for this. So which means, so any error which is caught by any error, so which is coming by this activity, so will be caught by this catch error event activity. So catch that error and send it to the admin. Okay, so I'll create a task of user type. Okay, and then I will give a name. Okay, now this will not be using any data. Okay, this I'm not going to associate any data to this user task. So that's why in the interface you have to select no interface data association is required. Okay, because I'm not going to associate any process data to this. So that's why so no interface data association required for this user. Okay. Now, so we have to define one participant. Okay, so we have to define one participant. So every user task must have a participant. Okay, every user task must have a participant. Okay, so okay, so we have to define one participant. So go to participants and define one participant. So I'll configure one participant in our organization model. So we have configured one user earlier, reviewer. So I will configure one more position. So go to your organization model and configure one position. Okay, has claims. Okay, and that participant I am going to refer from here. Go to participants, new. So select participant, external reference, click on browse and select claims app. Okay, and that user I'm going to map here. So just drag and drop that user onto this. And then the flow will be terminated. Okay, now so before deploying it, so you'll have to make sure that so this resource instance is available. Okay, this resource instance is available in the AMX runtime. So first I'm going to create that instance. Okay, now so go to shared objects and select resource templates. And we have seen this how to create. So the environment will be BPM environment. Okay, and so the type will be HTTP client. So it's not going to be HTTP connector. So connector will be for providers, web service providers, and the client is for web service client. So select HTTP client. Okay, select HTTP client and select space for the name. Set the port. And you have to create resource instance. Okay, and make sure that it is installed onto your node. So it's running fine. Now I will deploy this project. Oh, this sucks. Hmm. I don't know in 3.1 why it is making such a mess. Component status is okay. And what it says here. What? I don't know what restriction they put in 3.1. I will check this. Okay, so we'll see tomorrow. Okay, we'll deploy this application tomorrow and we'll check it. Okay, so we'll check this tomorrow. So this problem is not there in the previous version. In 3.1, I think they applied some new restrictions. So we'll check this tomorrow.